Yeah, like he probably has to think about turning it off to like have sex with people. Like,
oh my god. Imagine during climax he actually turns it on and just breaks like their whole pelvis. Oh my god. This might have better things than the reaction if, like, the recaps might have a nice little charm to them. Maybe people would be like, fuck, you're recording something more often, guys. Maybe. So, some of you may be wondering, what the fuck is that title? What do you mean this is a recap and not your reaction? I would say we fucked up, but I don't think we kind of did. But, like, also, like, it wasn't fucked up in the previous episode, so I don't know. I should stop swearing this early on, but...
So, I'll just basically kind of give my assumption is that I think there is an issue with the noise gate that I have on my, like, recording thing for my mic.
Let me interject, because you guys have definitely probably noticed a couple times on the finished product where Mike will be saying something, and all of a sudden it'll seem like I muted him. I never muted him. It's just he would cut out, and we now think we have the problem to address, which is what he's saying. Sorry.
Yeah. I thought I had fixed the problem like 3 or 4 times now, and then we had this episode just get completely fucking ruined. So
yeah, I might include clips of like what the footage looked like. Like, so we both separately record the Discord face cams, and then I sync the audio because it's just it's how you do it when you're not in person, right? So like. It's sad because this episode, if you remember it, is very important, I think, to the rest of the show, probably.
Yeah.
It answered a lot of our questions about Geto and Gojo's personalities changing over time. It obviously answered a lot of our questions about Gojo's strength growth. It answered a lot of questions just about, where the show, or where the characters went after this arc. And, I think it does set up basically the emotional weight of the rest of the season at the very least. And it's just such... I'm sorry, it's out of our control at this point. Like, if I did make the episode, you would not have heard Mike talk once. That's just how this would have happened.
It was bad.
Not only was the cutting off thing happening, but I think I lost internet during it, which caused Discord to lag, which caused his audio to be out of sync with his camera, and I couldn't line it up again because it was really messed up. I don't know how to explain it to people in terms it's going to make sense because it's editing, right?
It
doesn't make sense.
I like reviewed the footage on my end, and it was unusable. Like, it was bad.
Yeah, it's honestly like I don't know what I would be more upset about. I was going to say our old Demon Slayer, we had a couple times where one of us just forgot to record or something.
That's what I was gonna say. There was a couple of Demon Slayer episodes that got
and then there was the one that I got a copyright strike that will never be re-uploaded.
Yeah, and I'm definitely glad that we are making the decision to do this.
I think we did recap episodes. They just weren't, I don't think, very cohesive, very like informative or enjoyable.
I thought we just skipped. I thought there was a couple of Demon Slayer episodes.
I think we just talked about it for like 2 minutes before the next episode. I think that's what happened. So,
yeah.
It was a lazy decision by us, definitely, to just kind of keep things rolling. But
I mean, we were also like really playing.
It was also our first time doing it.
Yeah, it was. We had you had just moved. We had just switched to doing pretty much all of the episodes over Discord. Actually, I think at that point we hadn't even made the decision to switch to doing them all the way here. It was just a couple of like one-offs.
No, because we were still doing. That was at I won't say the address, but the previous place I lived in, and that was still. We still lived close enough together to where you came every time. We only stopped.
Yeah, so it was just a couple of one-offs
here.
Because
it's so far away.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was just a couple of random one-offs. We didn't even have like a stable like setup. Like now my setup is a lot more like. I'm pretty sure I was doing those off my laptop even, like one or two of them.
Honestly,
I think one or two of those might have been before I even had the desktop.
Yeah, so like, I hope you guys think the quality is. If you've been here since Demon Slayer, love you, but I hope the quality's better. I don't know if it is. Because when you make content, this is rambling at this point. This might be getting cut. Like I don't know how much of this is staying in, but like it's just you don't notice how bad it is until much later. Without further ado, I definitely think we've rambled on long enough for a recap. We do have. We're gonna go through the episode just bit by bit, talk about it, through obviously in chronological order, and just talk about like how we reacted and how we thought. Because I did edit, I'd say a good 2/3 of that video before I was just like, this is just unworkable. And like, I would say maybe you'll see that one day, but like you won't. You definitely won't.
No.
It's just me. It feels like I felt like a narcissist making it. That's because like I felt like I was just cutting you out.
Yeah.
It was so bad, but
I felt like, oh, my mic's peaking a little bit.
Maybe that's.
I'm being so hyper aware of it now. What was I gonna say? It's so funny that it's like you were like, I feel like a narcissist because I'm just cutting Mike out of everything, and I'm just sitting there like, fuck, I fucked up. God.
No, I know exactly how you feel because like when I took over the Vinny's and Game Boy Luke's cage lock, the first one, the cage match, Luke let me know that his audio was out of sync for that part, and I was like, no!
Oh no!
I let Luke down. But yeah, no, it's I don't blame you at all for like this. The main thing that fucked it up was the Discord issue.
Yeah.
I think. I mean. Honestly, after that, I think it picked you up more, but I don't know how. But it was all like, like 10 minutes out of sync or something. I don't know.
Like I said, I think the issue is the noise gate, but
we'll figure it out as we learn a bit more now.
I'm when we're not doing things, I'm probably gonna sit down with like the other microphone and like maybe some and maybe just like look up some tutorials on setting noise gates and see if I can like fine tune things, and I don't fuck.
Anyway, so at the start of the episode was just a little bit of like nonchalantness where we were talking about fuck. God. This happens at the start of every episode we do. I'm leaving it in so you can know our pain. God damn it, Crunchyroll. But basically, he's just testing his infinity.
Yeah.
He's automated, he's automated what he used to do manually. Basically, he can tell what's in his infinity, like, and he's also taking brain damage all the time, and he's just healing it, which is fucking nuts.
Which,
and also might add to his goofy personality. He might just lose brain cells constantly.
Not the brain damage thing, but the whole like automated what he used to do manually. We had talked about that a couple of episodes prior because we
were having that debate when he died, right?
No. It was before that when he fought the other dude when he failed to use red.
The Kage Bunshin guy, the clone guy.
Yep. He had talked about how like using the infinity, like he had to like think about turning it on. And it took like an immense amount of energy, and you were like, oh, it doesn't seem like that's the case, and I had talked about how like it was probably like there was words.
Yep.
But basically like
your
how
primary
it was
language.
like, yeah. At this point in time, it was like a situation where he had to like physically turn it on. And like it was in a constant state of off, whereas like in present modern like
you can't even throw a drink at that guy mid combo.
Yeah, like he probably has to think about turning it off to like have sex with people. Like,
oh my god, imagine during climax he actually turns it on and just breaks like their whole pelvis. Oh my god, this might have better things than the reaction if like. The recaps might have a nice little charm to them. Maybe people would be like, fuck, you're recording something more often, guys. Maybe.
Oh, man.
Or people are really going to hate this.
Yeah, we'll see. But I like, bro, imagine if this man's fucking love language is touch.
Oh my god.
He
it
just has to,
probably
like,
is.
He
Bro,
just
I
like,
need
constantly
that
think
power.
about.
I need
Yo.
that power. I
Oh
can't
my
handle
God.
touch.
I hate being touched. Like,
But yeah, basically, what happened next is we started getting more of Geto here. His thought process still as he goes down the line of his job after what's her name's death, the Star Platinum. I know that's not right, but I'm gonna keep calling her that. The JoJo reference. She'll be named the JoJo reference. That's what in our bridge. That's what Gojo will refer to her as. The JoJo reference, and she'll be like, "What are you talking about?" Everyone.
what is a JoJo?
Yeah, it's like, that
Your
anime's not popular yet.
Your name is Gojo.
Basically, Geto, as we've said before in our reactions, a few episodes before, Mike always likes to point out that Geto is suffering from success. It is true.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very apt way to put it. However, this
Yeah.
part is a little different, where he's also suffering from his failure right now.
Yeah.
And it has spurred his suffering from success into, like, why is this so easy? Why did I fail that? Why, like, at least that's not, like, outwardly what he's saying, I don't think. But he's also, talking about how Gojo is just the strongest now. Like, he has eclipsed, like, his whole, like, people knew his name before. But now, he is just untouchable. Literally.
Yeah,
and now he's unlocked purple permanently. Like, he can just use that, too. So, like...
I think there's definitely, like, layers to, like, what Geto is going through, where it's like...
He wants just curses gone, too.
It's like, I'm powerful enough to just...
Yeah.
Like... It's like, this is monotonous. And then it's also like, okay, if I'm that strong, why did I fail this
And also, if I'm that strong, why aren't I making a dent in the curses?
Yeah, and then it's like the thought of like, too, like, Gojo is just fucking untouchable. But it's like, Gojo was stronger than him then. And Gojo died. And then it's like...
Yes, I think they were more on the same level, though, like before. They were like the two top students. I think it was more like, how Mirio is the strongest of the big three, presumably? But they're all up there?
Yeah.
I think that's kind of like what it is for those two.
Yeah. It was definitely a lot closer. But, like, I think Gojo is still stronger, and, like, Gojo died.
Yeah, but he definitely, gave Megumin's dad a run for his money after the girl died. For sure.
Yes, I still stand by what I said, though.
Well, you're right. He was kind of toying with both of them.
I think that if Gojo was not, like, physically, like, drained from, like, keeping a technique up for several days without sleeping.
Oh, right. Did we have this conversation on camera then?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because
but I think Gojo wins that fight.
We got into a decent debate about...
Yeah.
I think it did. We had the episode go up where Gojo died, so we definitely probably had that debate.
Yeah.
I'd like to assume. If not, we might have it in the next episode, so I think we had it a few times. So.
Yeah. I think Gojo wins that fight.
Oh yeah, we've already recorded episode 6 and 7, so...
Yeah. We're a few episodes ahead. Also,
and behind.
I'm wearing the same thing that I wore the last time we recorded.
I think I am, except for a different hat.
And I think it's kind of funny that this is going to go up first, and then there's going to be an outfit change, and then it's going to go back to this. But it's funny because I bought this the day before we recorded the first time I wore it, which will come out
Like you're time
after.
traveling with it. So basically, yeah, they were just always, on missions. He was, feeling so depressed about it. And just literally no ass at all. None.
Which is just so disappointing.
So disappointing. But we were saying
that is hold on. No. That is the face of a man who should be cheeked up. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say that's the face of a man contemplating genocide, but okay, if those are the same face, we could definitely say that.
I'm just saying, I feel like they did him kind of dirty. Like, I feel like my man.
No, I think whoever drew that was just really, really straight and homophobic. And
they were like, I am not drawing. They're like, I am not drawing some fucking man ass
Like,
today.
literally. No, they're like, you are not paying me enough to do that.
Maybe
Or their editor just really was homophobic.
Nah, hear me out. The guy who drew it, he just started at this studio.
He's like, I don't want to draw him too cheap up.
He's been doing fucking yaoi fucking hentai for the last 6 years, trying to make a name for himself.
To do it again.
He's like, no more.
I am putting my foot down.
Ass.
I am putting my ass down. Oh my god! But anyway, yeah, no, like this man is literally in the shower, like, kill all humans, kill all non-curse users. And, like, it's weird how it, like, this is genuinely, like, he is trying to make the world a better place. Like, it's a weird gray area for him right now, for his mind, where he hasn't fully, like, he hasn't been given the idea yet, by the way. He has not been given the idea. He is still rattling his brain on how to deal with cursed spirits. And, like, you know, we did say in the reaction he's contemplating genocide here. He's not. He's definitely not.
He hasn't gotten to that.
Because, like, the girl
in thought yet
that we should bring up here, this chick is the one who brings up the three paths, really, which would be teaching everyone jujutsu to be able to deal and not, like, expend the energy that would create them. I don't remember what the second one was. Yeah, eliminate cursed energy from mankind. And then the third option is kill all non-curse users.
And something I want to say about, like, the way you're describing, like, Ghetto's, like, moral dilemma, I think, like, when you really break it down, that like, doing, like, a fucking terrible, like, awful, like, thing, like, you know, genocide or whatever, and having the moral standing of, like, yeah, like, I don't want to kill people, but it's, like, for the greater good, like, that, like, you know what I mean, like, that, like, trying to moralize, like, doing just genocide or, like, murder, is, like, kind of, like, just, like, pure evil, like, just the rawest
I'm just
level
trying to
of
explain,
evil.
Like, from a mental illness standpoint, like, he is so he's gonna become so detached from reality that he doesn't see it that way. And
no, for sure. That's what that's what I'm saying is, like, just that, like, rawest, like, form of just evil.
Oh yeah,
where it's like he is under the impression that he is doing a good, like, there is no, like, redemption from that. Like, he is just so sure that he is doing, like, a good, just thing.
Here's the thing. So towards the end of this episode, he slaughters his whole hometown and his parents, basically. I'm pretty sure it's his hometown. That or it's a random town near his parents' house.
Something like that.
And, like, he meets back up with his classmates, and, like, the way he talks to the girl classmate, where she's like, is there any chance the charges are false? And he's like, unfortunately not. Like, he's aware of how awful the path he just started on is. So right now, he isn't detached from reality. But I think once we get to the normal story timeline, he is, because he's like those damn monkeys. Like, when he thinks he's alone, he is saying those things out loud, right? So, like...
But, like, the thing is, too, is, like, even the way he talks about it with her is, like, even though he says, like, what he says in the way,
like,
of, like, kind of...
it's kind of, like, no levity to it, right?
Yeah, it kind of feels like they're having, like, a mundane, like, disagreement. Like, if like, you didn't like something that I really liked, and I'm like, I guess, unfortunately, we just don't like all the same things. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, he's like talking about it in a way where it's like,
you're not gonna like it, but yeah.
It's like a surface level disagreement that they're having, and not, like, human lives.
I mean, I think he does, though, realize at the same time, like, there might.
I think that callous, like, morally justifying it and, like, being callous about it in that way because of your moral justification is what leads him to the point of being like, those damn monkeys. Like, it's like it's a
slide,
pretty clear pipeline of, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just getting more,
basically.
Yeah, just getting, like, more radicalized and firm in your stance of, like, it's like, you know, every 16-year-old boy that got into Andrew Tate and is now like a right-wing weirdo.
Bro, it's so crazy how this girl's just one line of mentioning it to him spurred him. Like, I don't know if he would have thought of it later on or not if she didn't mention that third option to him.
Does she end up, I can't remember, does she end up going with him?
I don't think so, no.
Because it's interesting too to think,
but
like,
maybe I could be wrong.
How, like, the idea of like how thin the line can be
for the like the other sorcerers to whether or not they agree with him.
Yeah, because like there's a level of like, even like we get from this conversation, is like there's a level of her being like, yeah, that would work, that would be an option, yeah. Like an awareness of it, and like on the same page of him of like, we need to just like get rid of all the fucking curses, like we're not doing, it's like, we're not making a dent.
I think she kind of mentions, and maybe I'm adding this myself, but I think it's like a natural progression for almost all Jujutsu sorcerers to like go through this vendetta, and just 99.9% are, you know, sane enough to be like, genocide's not the answer. So like, I honestly, like, even my like my gut feeling would be to like cause a major event, or let a major event happen where like a curse goes like into like the news media's like major eye, and like the world can't deny it anymore. However, not only would that probably
a lot of
be
them
a
can't
disaster,
see it though.
Well, yeah, but like I'm pretty sure if you like made it so like, could you set up a veil that makes it so normal people can see everything inside the veil?
I
think
don't know, but like,
they seem to be able to customize their veils pretty well.
But I think if you can't see it, you just can't see it.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Maybe the veil is like, maybe they can cheat code that.
Oh wait, can't that girl see them with the glasses?
So maybe they can make like.
So there is some way to make people be able to see them.
Yeah, you just have to have the news. Like, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard, but like, maybe, you know, I have ins in the eyewear industry. Maybe I could set some motion to where all eyeglasses get replaced with those. So everyone with glasses now sees them, so, you know, everyone without glasses can't deny it.
But, like...
That's the peaceful plan. You invade the eyewear business.
Yeah. It is, like, an interesting thing that it's, like... It's not necessarily... Almost. It's not even that it's like, it's not necessarily that like the thought he's having is like a crazy thing to like think of, like, you know what I mean? But it's like the crazy part and the evil part is
acting.
Like deciding that is the only
like his
good option and acting on it
was to kill 100 people and his parents.
Yeah. That's
like, going off the the tallest dive board at the pool. Like, genuinely, like it like, I don't know many villains in a story that start that evil with their plans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess Thanos, you know, started off with killing half a planet, but like, fucking, it's also insane that this is the woman who recruited Toji.
Yeah.
Like, at the same time, so like, she's had a lot of impact on Jujutsu Society, both good and bad, because Toji had that night where he defeated 100 curses. So it's almost like those have balanced out, even though I would think a human life is worth more than one curse life.
Yeah.
You can't just math that. We learned that this woman does not agree with, like, a lot of what Jujutsu Society does, and she also refuses most missions given to her. So like,
yeah, so there is
not
like a level of
normal
like
Jujutsu sorcerer. Like, she's not the average like mindset probably either. Like, maybe it's not like a normal like kind of like thing to think of for Jujutsu sorcerers.
Yeah, there's.
Or she could just be humoring this guy.
I think there's a level of like there's probably a level of like full like devotion kind of people. Then like people that are in kind of like that like middle ground area. Like, I would say even Gojo is in that middle ground area where he's just like
killing the entire council multiple times.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he doesn't necessarily agree with everything that they do and decide. Like, I would say that like he's in a similar boat of like her, where it's like that like kind of middle ground where you're like,
yeah, but he still accepts every mission. So yeah, I guess you're right.
it's like you're in this like middle ground where you're like, I'm not gonna go do fucking genocide. Like, yeah, are these the best guys? No, but I'm not gonna go do fucking genocide.
Thought like, he probably was like, is Ghetto right? And then he like thought about it for 5 seconds, and he's like, no, he's not. Like,
it's like Or
wait, no, at the start of the season, he was like, why should we protect the weak? Gojo, at first was probably like, could have been on board with it.
Anyway, it's like there's like a middle ground point where you're not gonna go do fucking genocide, but you don't necessarily agree with everything that's going on. And then there's like this like far end of the spectrum where you do a Ghetto and which obviously there's more than just Ghetto that believes that, because he has a little gaggle of homies that are also jujutsu sorcerers that are like with him.
Right, and then he saves these 2 girls. They caused an incident, apparently, I think, or something. And listen, he basically adopted them, and now he like raised them. So like that's why those 2 teenagers were so damn loyal to him. Which makes sense now. I didn't understand how he got like 15-year-olds to be like, why would we ever leave Ghetto? He's like the bestest. And I'm like, how did he? I know he's hot, but like,
I mean,
is he also like a pedophile? No. He may commit genocide, but I mean, he has a line.
I mean, David, we were in the metal scene. We know plenty of 20-year-old dudes that were dating 15-year-old girls.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Rescued those 2. So basically, I think he was mad at this town for how they basically beat these 2 children for something I don't think was necessarily their fault. It was just like a curse thing, and they assumed it was the children. So
I think it was like kind of like a final straw kind of thing. Like he'd already been teetering a line,
and now he's like actually personally sick of normal people, right?
Yeah.
Because like, there's no way these normal people you can explain what happened actually to them. They would just accost you too. So like the only solution in his mind now is to go, just kill them all, teach them a lesson, right? And fucking then he gets sentenced to death.
Yeah.
And then Gojo,
as you do,
finds out, which also the buzz cut on him looks great. He should bring it back.
Yeah.
But this is like super fucking emotional, because it's like one of us finding out we slaughtered a whole village, like the other one. But I would have been like, Mike, like the guy I hung out with, killed 100 people with supernatural abilities, and he didn't tell me he had them? That asshole. I thought we had like a deal or something.
I think my genuine reaction would just be like,
I didn't think he had it in him.
Yeah, just no, he didn't. No, he did. He doesn't.
The guy who feels bad about killing ants.
Yeah. The guy who like borderline vomits when he like has physical contact with another human being.
Oh well,
But yeah, no, I'd be like, no, he didn't.
But if you were told that it was with supernatural abilities, you'd be like, that motherfucker got superpowers without telling me or getting me any? You bitch.
Yeah, I would definitely be fucking pissed if I found out you had superpowers.
But basically, Gojo and this girl went to go find Ghetto, and Ghetto just showed the fuck up.
Yeah.
Right? And was like, just talked about it. I'm going to create a world of only Jujutsu sorcerers, which just is like, I love how she just laughs at it.
Yeah.
Yes, you are. You are a child. But my favorite thing is how she just casually starts calling Gojo. Like,
yeah, she's like, fear, I'm not.
Like, she feels safe that he's not going to kill her. Because, again, he's not out to get Jujutsu sorcerers.
But she's like, I'm not going to give him a reason to kill me. Like, he could.
To be fair, this is a reason to kill her. Giving his location away to the sorcerers. And to Gojo, who will beat him in a fight. He is putting all of his cards on the table saying Gojo won't be able to kill me.
But like I understand the mindset of like, I'm not gonna try to fucking catch you. Like, what the fuck?
Well, I think she's more of a support type anyway. So she can't beat him. Like, she
that's what I'm
sent
saying.
On missions alone, is apparently, or something.
Well, that's what I'm saying. She's like, I can't fucking beat you, dude.
Well, normally most people can't beat him. So
yeah, it's pretty much just
even
Gojo.
At this point, yeah, Gojo's the only one who can beat him like handily.
Who, like, physically could.
Like, I think the principal might be able to, like, defeat Geto, but, like, it'd be, like, something that isn't easy at all. I think it'd be high difficulty.
I think...
Like, I think Geto would win more times than not against the principal, but I think the principal does have, like, a fighting chance in that fight.
Yeah, I think that's probably valid and accurate.
He created Panda and Gorilla, right?
Yeah.
And they're up for first grade sorcery, which is insane. He can make puppets that are first grade sorcerers. Yeah.
No, I like I said, I think that's probably an accurate assessment of where the scaling is at.
Yeah. And then obviously Geto would never beat Gojo at this point, I don't think.
Yeah, but it's also an issue of, like, physically Gojo wins, but emotionally, I think if they fight, there's even a chance. Like, if they fought this episode right now with this set of circumstances,
like when Gojo met up,
I think there's a chance. I think there's a chance Geto wins that fight on the, like, mental playing field.
And the fact that they were in the middle of a busy city, in the middle of the, like, day,
I think Gojo, that aside.
What I'm saying is it would add more agony to the mental battle, because he would be watching Geto fully off the deep end, just killing regular people willy-nilly with every attack. And I think that would genuinely break Gojo even further, to the point where, like, Gojo just is like, kill me. The world isn't worth it. Like, I think that would, like, end the fight even more. So maybe Geto was right in thinking, like, I'm calling your bluff, Gojo. Try and call mine, because there is no bluff here. I will kill everyone in the area if you try anything. Like, it's this episode. Like, this is why I want to talk about it. It's such a big episode that had so much, and this is more than what we talked about in the reaction, honestly, at this point, because, like, we've had our thoughts about it personally, and we can kind of, like, concisely more talk about it.
Yeah, I think with the reactions, it's a little difficult sometimes because we don't pause because we're in two different places. And, like, I think sometimes it's just, quick thought in this moment, get back to the anime. Whereas, like, now we're able to just have, like, we're able to have just, like, a full discussion. And it's not like the end card or beginning card discussion where it's like, we just watched the whole fucking anime. Like, here's just a quick, our feelings. Like, this is, like, as we said, a recap. Yeah,
so, like, you know, it's one of those things where, like, fucking, I mean, look at Gojo. He looks so disheveled and distraught. Like, I think they drew him really well here. Even his hands, the way they're positioned, I know it's, you know, still in a still image right now, but it even feels like they should be shaking. Like, he should have, like, a tremor from all of the emotions.
Like, they're, like, it feels like they're, like, not, like...
They're not doing what he says, almost.
Yeah, they're, like, they're not doing what they need to be doing. They're, like, stiff and awkward.
Or, like, it's a subconscious, why, like, they shouldn't even be up there. Like, why are they even, like, up there like that? He's just, like, he's trying to reach out maybe, but he can't. Like, you know, I know we're reading into a picture way too much, but, like, this is a super emotional moment, and, like, for Gojo, this is what changed his whole life.
Yeah.
It is, like, his motivation from then on is to probably, like, get his friend back.
I would like to point out how goofy it is that they're just talking about, like, I'll kill everyone here.
Yeah, and everyone is just walking right by, like... What? 911! There's a high schooler being really uppity.
Yeah.
Although he's not in high school uniform anymore. So, you know, because, like, earlier in this episode, like, they pointed out the girl who's smoking a cigarette, by the way, and they're like, that's a high schooler? So they can tell based on their Jujutsu High uniforms, apparently.
Yeah.
But yeah, all these business people that are, like, CGI, I think, just walking by, they're deaf. If you're made out of CGI, you're deaf. That's just a lesson that we took away from today's episode. Like, this debate, like, is stupid to me that they're having, by the way, at this point. Like, Geto is trying to be like, this foolish ideal would become a lot more grounded and real if I was you, wouldn't it? And it's like, because Gojo said it was impossible, right? I'm just like, it wouldn't feel more grounded and real because what you're trying to, like, argue for is insane. It's not grounded or real in any way, no matter how powerful you are.
I think his
Well, I know what he's trying to say.
input-
Like, Gojo said it's impossible for you, but it's not impossible for Gojo, right? Like, that's the
yeah,
argument.
I think the implication is kind of essentially like you're the arbiter of what's right and wrong because like
You're the strongest.
yeah, no one if you decided this was the right thing to do, it would happen tomorrow because nobody could stop you.
Mm-hmm. And also, he asked, like, the philosophical question. I'm not 100% sure I still know what it means. It's like, are you the strongest because you're Gojo, or are you Gojo because you're the strongest? And I know, like, what it means, like, as in, like, would you be you if you weren't the strongest? Or, like,
Yeah.
would you be the strongest if you weren't Gojo still? And, like, obviously the answer to that second one is no, because he was born with those specific powers.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, I don't think it's a very, like, good philosophical question for this. Like,
I think it kind of is because it's like if you didn't have the privilege that you were born with, would you feel the same way?
I guess, yeah.
Or if you like, you know what I mean? Is essentially the question.
Like, would you be
like,
the same person?
It's like, do you feel this way because of who you are, or is who you are why you feel this way? Like, you know what I mean?
I mean, you basically said the same thing backwards.
I just said the same thing twice.
But
you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. I hope the comments did too.
Yeah, words.
But basically,
I'm
I think
struggling
a
with
very
English today.
non-confusing way to say this would basically be like, you know, if you were born without the privilege, if you were like any of the other classmates,
Yeah.
I guess, like, would you personally be able to still say that?
Mm-hmm.
And like with the same, like, you know, superiority almost.
Yeah.
Because like he kind of, you know, subconsciously looks down on everyone's abilities.
Yeah.
In a way.
It's okay.
And that's like
He
can't help that in a way.
Were you able to achieve your success because of who you are, or did your success form who you are?
I think it's almost the latter for Gojo, especially at the start of this arc.
Yeah.
I think he's changed.
No. Yes, I think we're about to say the same thing. I think his mentality of like, why should we bother with the weak thing,
exactly,
is a result of his privilege.
Yeah.
And I think his life experience changes that, and he forms like an actual like person. It's like, you know, like if you were like,
well, he was like the rich spoiled brat kid in high school, right? And then
yeah, it's like
he kind of like experienced life when he got to college and realized that he didn't, you know, actually see things in its full picture. And now that he does, it's like, you know, he's actually had a whole metamorphosis.
Or like you go through puberty and actually like form a personality for the first time in your life that isn't just like a amalgamation, like a culmination of like every
Beavis
like cartoon character. Yeah, every cartoon character and movie that you've ever seen.
We get this scene where the principal, the teacher at this point was like, "Why didn't you stop it?" And then Gojo was literally like, "Why the fuck are you asking me that?" And he's like, "Yeah, my bad."
I know this is like a sad, like somber moment or whatever. They look like they're about to drop the hardest fucking mixtape.
So they both, or the teacher needs a cigarette in their hand, one of them, or both.
Put like a headband, like a bandana around his head. Put like a stack of cash in Gojo's hand and a parental advisory sticker in the bottom corner. Make it black and gray. Craziest mixtape.
Okay, well, listen, I hope you know that my plan in my head as you were saying those things is I'm gonna like pop each one of those things in when you say it, hopefully. So I just hope that works out. The next part of the episode is Ghetto. Basically, so the religious group became like debunked, right? Became unfunded or bankrupt, whatever the right word is. And another version of it, there's more versions of the same thing that exist, right? It's like a different like shell company, right, to do the front. Purchased the same building that it was in before, and now Ghetto owns it all. So he now is in charge of that religious organization, and he basically threatened all of them, if I remember correctly. Well, this organization belongs to me, yep. Changing the name. I think he kills like 5 people. Many objected, of course.
As you do.
So I think this is literally a Darth Vader moment. So Darth Vader, when he's introduced to the Empire, kills 5 Imperial agents. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally. So let's pause there. That's a great image. But literally, like, there's a comic of Darth Vader, like, being introduced by Palpatine, like, because he wasn't instantly known by everyone. And a bunch of people were like, who the fuck is this guy? I'm not taking orders from him. And Vader brought 5 random people and just killed them with the Force. And is like, anyone else? And basically, that's what Ghetto did here. Just to one person.
You think when he's having sex, he just turns it off for his, like, dick and balls?
Yeah, but we had this conversation earlier. What if when he climaxes, he just accidentally turns it back on?
No, yes, but I'm like a.
Oh yeah,
like
so
little,
defensively he's fine.
exactly.
He can't be stabbed
So,
in the back, right? Yeah.
No one could.
Maybe.
You can't. You couldn't like slip a little finger in his ass or nothing.
Maybe, but then later, so we're getting off topic again.
You just blew right past. You know what? Okay.
Listen,
Fine.
it's
We'll blow past it. We'll blow past
We'll blow Gojo.
Yeah, no, we'll just blow past a finger in Gojo's ass. I'm the weird one, right? Okay.
I'll blow bubbles in his ass later. Make him queef him back out. How's your ass? Oh, but basically, Gojo kidnaps Megumin from the Zenin clan. That's the TLDR version. Technically, he was going to be sold off anyway. Megumin was, apparently, or something like that. This year anyway, at the end of this year or something, I think. They definitely mentioned that. I just don't know how exactly that works. If you want to explain that to us, I'm assuming it's not a spoiler. Right? That doesn't seem very spoilery. We got told it happened, how that works and why he was being sold off. I don't think that's a spoiler, right?
I think it has something to do with
It's
like
the
his
Zenin clan.
His mom's clan and his dad's clan. There was like something going on there.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
There
was a little bit of
how
like,
many children they had or something too.
But
again, do you think that's a spoiler? No.
No.
Right? Yeah, I'm just asking you to let the comments let us know.
Right? I'm saying I think there was some mention of it, and I think we just maybe
they,
don't remember.
When I was editing, they didn't really go in depth. But yeah, no, I love how Gojo is saying you were the ultimate card that your dad kept on hand against the Zenin clan. His dad didn't know he existed.
No, he remembered towards the end.
Yeah, he remembered, but he was not his ultimate card. He's he just didn't know he had a kid for the longest time. He forgot.
I think he just forgot his name. If I remember correctly, he was like,
yeah,
that's what I named the kid.
Well, yeah. Well, the thing is that when we were introduced to him at the betting thing, his business partner was like, "What about your kid?" And he's like, "Who?" He's like, "Oh right, I have a kid."
If I remember correctly, he said the kid's name and he just didn't remember. And then he was like, later, he was like, "Oh yeah, that's what I named my kid."
I don't know. One of us is probably right, but other than that, nothing really happens except we found out this flashback was just Gojo dreaming, and he woke up to this.
Do you think potentially that because this whole thing was Gojo dreaming,
it wasn't real?
Not that it wasn't real, but maybe some of the events were skewed with a layer of bias.
As in, what?
I don't know, maybe just Gojo making himself cooler, or maybe the parts that Gojo wasn't there for, he's just kind of inferring a little bit. I don't know, just a little dusting. Maybe we get a little ghetto dream later, and it's there's some mild differences, and then maybe we get the girl's dream at one point, and it's kind of somewhere in the middle, and we're oh, that's what happened. No, their classmate.
Yeah, I don't think we meet her.
Yeah, maybe we do later, and we get her dream.
We haven't yet, right?
Yeah, and then but then we meet her, and we get her dream, and we're like, oh, it's that's the middle ground. That's what actually happened.
Okay, well, I think that's pretty much all we need to talk about for this.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's pretty
also been recording for over an hour, so.
It's gonna be a doozy to edit. You're probably getting this Saturday. I'm sorry. Honestly, the scheduling has been all fucking over the place. I had a vacation. I've been working over 80 hours a week. I know I've been saying that, but
and then we had fucking audio issues.
you know, like I might I appreciate you guys watching this reaction again. I'm really sorry that this episode got messed up, but I think this was a very enjoyable recap that we did. I think if, you know, we have to do this, this one went really well. So,
I think arguably, like,
you guys got more out of this than you would have with the normal reaction, for sure.
Yeah, like, we, like, had a lot of, like, I feel like we have a bad habit of, like, after we hit end record,
we start talking further, yeah.
Continuing to talk about the anime, and
then
have,
one
like,
of us says, "Damn, I wish we were still recording for this."
Yeah, we'll just like theory craft for like 40 minutes about the anime and like cool shit. That's why at the start
of the next episode, sometimes we'll just start talking about stuff because it'll be also some of it's what we talked about after the last episode, like literally. Yeah. So, yeah, you guys kind of got a bit more of our like genuine conversations for this than normal. Because I do try to keep like the end conversations and start conversations shorter in the episodes, because like watch time and how long every view watches is so important for a YouTube video. So, you know, the shorter the reaction, the discussion that people skip, the better. Because most people skip those discussions, right? Most people skipped this discussion right here. So, if you watched it, just type peanut butter jelly in the comments, and we'll know. And we won't, because I won't remember I said this. I was like, why does everyone say peanut butter jelly?
If the audio file's messed up again, I'm going to fucking kill myself.
If the audio file's messed up, I might just upload this without Mike's audio.
You might just be uploading the rest of the series without Mike.
No, that's what One Piece is for.
Yeah, but
I'm also behind on.
That's fine. I still haven't watched any more One Piece. Like,
I'm in the Grand Line. I'm at the whale.
You know,
we're going whaling. We should let's end the episode before we start talking about One Piece.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.